When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle. Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that is a profound manifestation of ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that one so much.
It's real good, right?
It's real good.
From our live show?
Yeah, the blondes.
About blondes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today... Yar.
Okay. Let's, sure.
Avast you mateys.
Okay. I changed the episode. Can I change the episode topic right now?
You be swabbing the dick, matey.
Okay, I'll swab your dick. Wait.
Oh, no, it's sounding?
I just was doing a dick sounds like dick. Get on my poop deck.
Yep,
We had to. What else do we need to get out up top?
Shiver me timbers.
Okay, cool. Booty. Okay, we're talking about pirates.
No, booty's coming back. Just so you know,
I'm bringing booty back.
we're gonna talk about pirates.
Yep.
You know why?
Why?
Because every once in a while we get a wild hair up our ass to do something random ass, and that's the winner.
And just like always, I'm like, oh, this is a random thing, and then I was like, oh God, I have some feelings about this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
We'll get into it though.
We're gonna get into it then.
But first,
let's put this at the top of the show.
Tops, pay attention. This is for you.
Just in case people don't make it to the bottom, if you know what I mean. So we have been nominated for a Cybersocket Award, which is magical. So yes.
They are the same ones that do like nominations for gay porn awards, like Epic Ass and
best cock,
best group scene, shit like that. And
Daddy of the Year.
Who knew that we would be on the same list of nominees as Devin Franco and
Cade Maddox?
It's the weirdest thing. They added a podcast category this year.
Best gay sex podcast.
Yes. So go to cybersocketawards.com and vote for us.
Yep. Sadly, I was not nominated for best cock, but there's always next year.
There's always next year. You got to get your cock out. You got to do some cock PR.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
A podcast might not be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Please vote for us. That would be the weirdest, coolest thing. We are very good at losing lots of different awards, so
it would be fitting if it was our first award.
It would be very fitting.
If we won a gay porn award.
Yeah,
that would be
yeah,
a real resume builder,
as they say. I also wanted to mention, this is just an update from our episode on flight attendants.
Okay,
I talked to our friend, an actual gay flight attendant.
Well, that was your first problem.
First-hand research.
Yeah.
Get some first-hand research in on those flight attendants.
First-hand job research?
He asked if I knew what the nickname for gay flight attendants was.
First ass? I don't know. What is it?
Oh, like first class?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Well, at first I thought those moaning noises was your guess. I don't know.
Coffee, tea, or meow?
That didn't make it
doesn't
specifically
make any
gay.
Sense. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's air mattress.
Great. Great.
Which is hilarious. So gotta get that in there.
Yeah.
Ready for the news?
Let's do the news. Shut your mouth hole. It's time for your ear holes. News. Okay, news the first. So, first of all, Politico has obtained photographs that appear to show Congressman Madison Cawthorn, the embattled Republican congressman from North Carolina, wearing lingerie in what appears to be a party setting. Have you seen this story?
Yes.
Are you following this story at all? He's unfortunately hot. It's really
annoying.
It's problematic.
Yeah.
I don't want to have sexual feelings about such a dick face butthole shitbird.
It's interesting. The first insults used were dick and butt. I get where your mind's at, but yeah.
Cawthorn, who's 26 years old, was raised in a conservative Baptist community in Henderson County, North Carolina, and is basically just the arch. He's a fucking Christian evangelical fuckface.
Yeah.
And really pushes a lot of hyper masculinity. Like there's the one video of him punching a tree. Like,
I haven't seen that
until he's trying to chop down a tree with his hands, like he's in a fucking video game or something. And he has talked about sexual perversion in reference to
us,
to gays.
Yeah.
So Politico could not independently verify the photos because they're screenshots of original images. But apparently, after the story was published, he sort of admitted that they were real because he tweeted that the photos were taken of him during a game on a cruise before he was elected to Congress. Straight people, are you okay? What game do you play that involves wearing lingerie in a casual?
What's wrong with that, though?
Why
is that? Oh, you seem like you were saying that's a bad thing.
I mean, it just doesn't. I don't understand. I don't understand what he like. It's particularly problematic because of who he is.
Right. Well, that's the thing about it. Like none of this would be if you found any congressperson or any person wearing lingerie. That should be okay. That doesn't change anything, especially if I don't know, not especially, but like whether it's because it's your identity or you're just playing a game, like whatever, that's fine. Yeah. But if you're someone who battles against sexual perversion and calls some of these things names and then come to find out you've also participated in some of these things that's the problem part.
Yeah. I mean, in March 2021 on a podcast, he said, quote, "I think that we have bred a generation of soft men, and that generation has created a lot of problems in our society and our culture.
If you're soft, go see your doctor. They have something they can prescribe for you. It happens to a lot of men. It's fine. It's okay. There's still a lot of fun to be had."
He has tweeted, quote, "There's only one God and two genders." Anyway,
if you count, look at the religions. That's not true.
Yeah.
Not to mention the gender thing, sure. Yeah.
He also said, and I think this is kind of funny, he said, I quote, "I was raised on proverbs and push-ups."
God, that's a little bit hot, which is also annoying.
Right. Yeah, anyway.
And I'm all out of push-ups.
It's just, I think it's great, the schadenfreude of somebody who's this squeaky clean, conservative Christian, anti-LGBT, just straight-laced fuckface asshole dickbag getting caught like this is kind of delicious.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, so news the second?
Yeah.
All right. In a story that just totally makes sense, a man was arrested on Tuesday, April the 20th, and charged with making threats against Merriam-Webster Dictionary Corporation after allegedly threatening to bomb the offices over the dictionary definition of female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. What is the dictionary definition of female?
I should have looked that up for this story, actually. Let's see. Merriam-Webster, female. Of relating to or being the sex that typically has the capacity to bear young or produce eggs, having or producing only pistils or pistillate flowers, having a gender identity that is the opposite of male, made up of usually adult members of the female sex, consisting of females, characteristic of girls, women, or the female sex, exhibiting femaleness. Yeah, there's a lot of definitions there. There's a lot to choose from. But yeah, he was charged with making threats against them. He allegedly threatened to bomb their offices. Hansen, who's 34, was charged with 1 count of interstate communication of threats to commit violence. His first court appearance is coming up on April 29th. He sent the threats in October, and in them he suggested hunting down and shooting the person who wrote the definition for female, and using their Contact Us page on their website, allegedly wrote, quote, "It would be poetic justice to have someone storm your offices and shoot up the place, leaving none of you commies alive."
How would that be poetic? He needs to look that word up in the dictionary. As long as he doesn't bomb the shit out of them because of it.
Yeah. They closed their offices for 5 days on the recommendation of the FBI.
Yeah.
And the United States Attorney Rachel S. Rollins said, quote, "We believe Hansen sent a multitude of anonymous, threatening, and despicable messages related to the LGBTQ community that were intended to evoke fear and division. My office and our law enforcement partners will not tolerate threats against members of our community, no matter what corner of the internet they're sent from." And so like, they're real mad. People are real mad about this gender and sexuality stuff that's going on. And it's really unfortunate because there's a lot of fucking horseshit that's happening in the world as a result of it.
Yeah.
Exhibit 458,1200 and whatever here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like an insane, like you're an insane person. If you're trying to argue that you're the logical one by threatening to bomb, like it just, you're insane.
Yep.
Stop it.
Yep. Stop it. Just stop it.
Stay home. Just rip up your own personal dictionary in a form of protest and just stay home.
Yep. Okay. News the last.
Great.
This is a rabbit hole, Kyle.
Okay.
I thought
that's what I call my book.
Yeah. Is it?
Hop on in.
Easter was last month. Or last week. Whatever. My brain today.
No,
okay.
It happened last year too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So on April 20th, Bartow County Schools on their Facebook page posted HCES Wedding Extravaganza. We hear wedding bells at Hamilton Crossing Elementary School, and here's why. Kindergartners have worked hard this year learning letter identification and letter sounds. As a culminating activity, HCES held a wedding to help students remember the spelling rule for the letter Q. Q and U always go together in a word. There was a boy who was labeled Mr. Q and a girl who was the other way around. Sorry, a girl labeled Mrs. Q and a boy named Mr. U, and they were married by a teacher in a suit and tie at the front of the classroom. There was apparently a reception immediately following the ceremony. What a fun and engaging letter learning activity. And it is full on like children.
She's got a veil on. She's holding flowers. He's wearing a tie. Wow. Yeah.
There's a group of dude 5-year-olds holding a sex doll from the bachelor party the night before.
They've got remnants of cocaine on their noses still. One of them broke their arm somehow, a way no one remembers or won't tell you.
And of course, this came across gay social media. I forget. I think it was a Twitter feed that I ended up catching it on. Of course, saying like, yeah, gays are shoving their sexuality down your throat. Like this is patriarchal heteronormativity at its absolute worst. This is indoctrination. Those poor fucking kids, do they think they're married now? Like, are they?
They might. Hopefully, they're not dumbass dipshits that actually think they're married. I don't know. Kids are pretty stupid, so maybe.
Turns out, though, upon further reflection, this is not just a 2020 thing. I found evidence of this kind of thing happening in many elementary schools across the country back at least as far as 2013. And in 2013, the Post was talking about this being an institution at this particular school, quote, for many years. So it's been, I guess, a lot of elementary schools do this as a matter of course. Like there's no other way to teach them about Q and U.
Oh,
Jesus
specifically,
fuck.
like
Mr. Q and Mrs. U or Mrs. Q and Mr. U is the thing. Like there's I even found like lesson plans of like, here's the best way to execute this kind of an event. You might have to work with the administration to get permission to use the gym or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
Like there's a video of these kids. It's from 2014. These kids taking a white roll of butcher paper and rolling it out like to make and then sprinkling flowers on it so that they could walk up to the front. Like just go all make it as like just as bridezilla as you can make this thing. They totally support that, and the kids really get into it. But like, I'm just disgusted, and I'm disgusted that it's been going on for so long. I'm also upset at how goddamn adorable it is. Stop it, straight people.
Stop asking your 3-year-old girls if they have a boyfriend, just stop it.
Yeah.
Stop lighting shit on fire to tell me about their genitals. I gotta stop. That's the news.
I would like to thank the following genitals that have lit us on fire for giving us money. Thank you to the following Patreon members who have waited patiently. Jay Remick, John Henry Loomis, 3 names, serial killer.
Right.
Nick Pant, Dominic O'Donnell. Sean Manning, Shaun. You could probably hear that I didn't. Did I pronounce it right? Sean Manning.
Why is Sean a hot name? I don't know.
Let's think about it.
Yeah, is there a reason for that?
Sean, because of Sean Hannity. No, sorry, Sean, for associating with that. And Jacob.
Just Jacob.
If you would like to join Patreon, if you want to get bonus content, episodes day early, go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Do it, especially because our next Patreon Zoom happy hour is coming up. It's going to be this Wednesday, May the 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Anybody at any level of support is going to get an invite in their Patreon inbox. Join us. We're going to talk about whatever the fuck we want to, and
like Star Wars, I guess.
May the 4th? Sure. Yeah. Yes. It's going to be a Star Wars themed Patreon
our first
happy hour Zoom call.
Star Wars themed.
But they really are fun. You get a chance to hang out with Kyle and I and a bunch of other Patreon supporters and just generally get drunk and tell lies.
Why tell lies?
I don't know.
Why do
it's a thing my dad says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to. We'll never know. Do you want to talk about pirates?
Let's talk about pirates.
Okay. I thought we covered that up front. Are you going to...
Yeah, I'm going to talk about
the history of pirates.
The history of pirates, Kyle.
Okay.
So first...
Pirates are kind of gay, which we should let you know to keep you got to give them a little hook, you know?
Yeah. I see what you did there.
You got to give them the hook.
The hook. Got to give them the Captain Hook, which that should be a sex act. We'll have to figure out what that one means.
Oh, put a butt plug in. Well, not that specifically, but I got some sex stuff.
God, why am I so hot now?
Because you're wearing a hoodie. And you were just talking about that hot dude from the news.
Okay, Madison Cawthorn.
Yeah.
So piracy is robbing or other criminal violence by ship or boat-borne attacker. And usually the goal is to steal shit, take away cargo, also known as booty.
Okay.
Or I can't help it, Kyle. I am who I am.
No, yeah.
Or other valuable goods. So the earliest documented instances of piracy were in the 14th century BC, when the sea peoples, not to be confused with the village people, a group of ocean raiders attacked the ships of the Aegean and Mediterranean civilizations. So it's also interesting to me that state-sponsored piracy is called privateering, even though it's basically the same thing.
State-sponsored piracy? They're like, go get those ships and and then give us the whatever gold you got?
Yeah, it's like a wink, nudge. I think they get to keep the booty, but it's like they're our enemies. So could you go pirate them? And then that makes it legit somehow, instead of just like doing it extrajudicially or whatever.
It's the CIA.
Yep, exactly right. I'm so proud of you.
I hope that I hope I said it. You could hear how I said it, right? Yeah. That it was CIA. You could. That's more of a visual gag. But here we are.
So awesome. Yeah. So awesome. Usually we're referring to like the ocean, right? Like although sometimes we do refer to other kinds of piracy, like plane hijackings sometimes are referred to that way, or also train pirates or car pirates.
I've never heard of those.
And there's also space pirates and a lot of science fiction, and then for whatever reason, stealing content online started getting called piracy, which now that I think about it, that's kind of a harsh term.
Yeah.
Like I have boarded and stabbed exactly 0 people listening to Napster, you know? Like, so the English word pirate comes from the Latin pirata, which is Latin for pirate. There's a circular reference there that I don't really enjoy. Pirates is Greek. It means brigand. And basically, the word peril comes from the same root.
Okay.
It just means danger. Bad people. Bad people doing bad shit. What I really want to get to, Kyle, so when we think about pirates, the sea shanties and the Yar and the Captain Hook and all of that shit, that's mostly Caribbean pirates and Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp, that's where it all comes from, and that's all in the 1650s to the mid 1700s. And it's, oh God, where did my good where are the hookers, Kyle? Pirates, of course, are predominantly male occupation. A lot of that's just because being a sailor was a male-dominated thing, and the Navy required that you be a dude to serve in the Navy. There were some female pirates. We're going to talk about a couple of really awesome ones in a future in a segment, a couple of segments from now. But anytime you get a bunch of dudes and take them away from the land, gay stuff happens.
Yeah.
And
see the Navy.
Right. In the Navy. And I wonder, just like with frat guys, I wonder if it's actually that gay or if that's just the fantasy of it being that gay. And judging from the number of for sure gay things that have been documented, I think it was pretty gay.
Yeah?
Yeah. So there was, okay, here we go. I found it. Thank God. So the golden age of piracy is the 1650s to the 1730s. That's the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. And it was on the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean that is sort of the birthplace of all of these symbols and ideas that are wrapped up into old school piracy. So by 1605, Spain basically pulled the plug on their colonies and just kind of abandoned them. And so people that were runaway slaves or soldiers who'd committed mutiny, sailors, almost anyone who had a reason to hide from the crown ended up going to this island. Apparently a lot of them were Protestants. They were either French Huguenots or they were English. They were opposed to the Catholic Spanish. And anyway, they made a society which they called the Brethren of the Coast. And on the island, they hunted pigs and cattle, which they smoked over wooden barbecues called boucan, and that's where the word buccaneer comes from.
Oh.
Because they were barbecuers. So grilling has been part of toxic masculinity for centuries, Kyle. But it was an almost entirely male society, so they lived in same-sex couples.
Wait. So that doesn't necessarily have to follow, but it did. It did. I mean, yeah. Huh.
They said, quote, 2 men would disappear into the tropical forests for between 6 months and 2 years, and when they emerged, they would be dressed in animal skins and covered in blood. Then they would sell...
Just like when I have a hookup on Grindr, right? We both come back covered in blood and animal garments.
And they would sell smoked meats and hides to passing ships. I'm sure they smoked their fair share of meat.
Yeah, thank you. I just heard smoked meat and was like, wait, I got to do something there. Okay.
And so fast forward a little bit, they had to move to the Island of Tortuga, which was north of there. It was a more defensible island, but had even fewer natural resources, so they had to augment their lifestyle with piracy. So I'll just read this part real quick. Tortuga was split between French and English colonies, and that played into the buccaneers' hands. The French, English, and Dutch governments all wanted to break the Spanish monopoly of trade with the New World, so they either turned a blind eye to anti-Spanish piracy or even encouraged it. That's this whole privateer thing of hey, if you steal from the Spanish, we're down for that. So there are far too many men on this island and too few women, and Tortuga was obviously deeply homosocial and probably openly homosexual.
Homosocial? I don't think I've heard that word. That's fun.
That's the
fair enough.
Dudes doing dude stuff, but in a homo kind of way, but that not necessarily sex, because it's not like everybody watched each other bang.
Oh, man.
Or did they?
I mean,
no, but most researchers think that it was actually homosexual, in an open kind of way. Like everybody knew what was going down and was on board with it, at least in this little pocket of society.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen that many times in society, whether it's prisons or the Navy, or we've seen it in a lot of times when you have mostly men in an area. Homosexuality becomes totally accepted, and for some people it's, you know, legit innate homosexuality. There's situational homosexuality, like sometimes you just want to jizz in something warm and I got a butt, like, you know, there's a lot of different reasons, but anytime you just have a group of dudes, all or, you know, bachelor parties, anytime you have a group of dudes around each other, it kind of turns into this.
Just like any bar is a gay bar if you bring enough friends. Once you get enough people together, it gets pretty gay. It was enough of a quote unquote problem that the French governor Jean Levasseur apparently rounded up 1,600 female prostitutes and shipped them to the island, hoping it would solve this gay thing that was happening there.
Also, sex workers.
Well, I'm literally reading that sentence.
Oh, sure, but you could also update it.
That's true. Okay. So he believed that the women would be a civilizing influence, but he did not treat them well. He sold them off to the highest bidder at auctions. So there were these same-sex couples, which the article calls them gay pirates now, that said the gay pirates were established by now, so they shared everything, so they would only buy one woman and share her.
Wow.
And some of these clearly became bisexual buccaneers in three-way relationships.
Oh my God. Bye, people. We see you. Bye, visibility.
Yeah.
And triads? Like, wow, we got a lot of progressive sexual and relationship dynamics going on here.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's really... It's an actual historical example of, well, have you tried chicks? Like, failing miserably. Like, it doesn't work like that.
I really enjoy that. I'll fix this problem, and then it turns into something like it just adds more fuel to this, like, just queer fire that's happening.
Yep.
Made it even queer with like poly and bi and that's a beautiful testament to LGBT people.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it involved human trafficking, but we'll look past that.
Right. Sorry. There's a lot of
But yeah. So that's sort of the birthplace of the modern idea of piracy. And so as a result of all of this, you actually find that the idea that pirates are kind of gay persists. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the lady pirates that I learned about. So I'll put a butt plug in the rest of this history stuff, and we can fast forward to. You're going to talk about now stuff?
Oh, sure. Should I do that now?
It's up to you. It's your show, Kyle. Talk about what you want to.
Yeah, well,
how are you? How's the weather?
Let's talk about on this episode about pirates, I'm going to talk about facials. No. Maybe we'll break up the history with some sex.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
The history actually contained more sex than I expected, Pirates, used in sexual slang,
Sure.
emerged in the 20th century off a play off the tradition that pirates took whatever they wanted, including sex, which was seen as a conquest.
Sure.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the sexual terms that contain the word pirate.
Okay. You want it like conquistadors? No, it has a new connotation.
Yeah, conquistadors.
Yeah.
So the source of where like the fact that pirates emerged as a sexual slang in the 20th century came from the book Sex Slang by Tom Dalzell and Terry Victor in 2007.
Okay.
But first one is on the pirate or to pirate is Australian slang for a man searching for casual sex.
Oh, okay. I wonder why.
All of these
cruising for booty, I guess.
Cruising for booty, just cruising for booty. That's not the song. But it's all of the. Well, let me keep going, and then we'll get back to the gay stuff. There is found in Cassell's Dictionary of Slang, a book by Jonathan Green, not Cassell. I don't get it. In 2005, another word is a pimp a pirate is a pimp who steals a sex worker from
See?
another. I got it. I fixed it. Real time. A pimp who steals a sex worker from another pimp.
Okay. It's interesting. It's interesting that the sex worker doesn't have any agency here. But okay.
Yeah, I mean, is that like? The dream would be sex workers are all independent, working, for themselves, making their own decisions. Probably, unfortunately,
it's like in the song Jolene when she begs her not to steal her man. Like, well, okay. It's kind of up to him too.
Yeah.
Like, let's
let's blame the other woman instead of the angry pirate.
Angry pirate.
This
is it like the sex act? Oh god.
Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know where you first heard of it?
Okay. Hey Kyle.
Hey Mike.
Frat guys are real gay. And they love to talk about their dicks and what they're doing with them. And they love to talk about all of these like random ass sex acts that absolutely have never really happened in the history of sex acts. Like Rusty Trombone and Hot Carl and Portuguese Breakfast and like none of these things have ever actually happened, but and this is one of those. Angry Pirate is one of those.
100%. It appeared in both the book Dirty Sanchez's Guide to Buck Nasty's Sex by Nick Denton Brown et al. In 2009, and also in a Dan Savage column where someone wrote in and said, have you heard about the pirate? It's when you're getting a blowjob from a girl, and then when you're about to come, you ejaculate in her eye, then you kick her in the shin. The result is the woman squinting her eye and hopping up and down on one foot, holding her leg, screaming, arg!
Yeah.
And like you just said, Dan Savage replied, like, no one does this. There's so many sex acts that are like this, and you listed a bunch that I don't. Hot Carl, that you said that one, right?
Yeah.
He also said also Donkey Punch, Icy Mike. I don't know what that is. That's your name in there.
Yeah.
Is Icy Mike when you Mike stick your dick in the freezer, wait for it to get cold, and then
I think it's
I think
it's a poop. You freeze a poop and put it in there.
Oh.
I think I'm going to look it up, Kyle.
God, sure. We need to get this right. What? What's your face?
Oh, and Icy Mike is peeing in a condom, freezing it, and then fucking something with it.
I don't like the use of the word something, because like I would have thought you would have said someone, but I don't know.
I mean, the Urban Dictionary definition is Icy Mike, pissing in a condom, freezong, and fucking, well, anything with it.
Sure.
Lance just gave Virginia the old Icy Mike.
That's helpful. I love their sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're literally just this person did this.
And this one says shitting in a condom and freezing it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God, does this episode now suddenly need a trigger warning? There's going to be weird stuff in here. I guess that's every Gayish episode. Okay. I found author Jordan Tate, who in the book The Contemporary Dictionary of Sexual Euphemisms in 2007.
Hey Kyle.
Hey Mike.
That's what I want for Christmas.
I realize there's so many fucking books about sexual euphemisms. I think we need to have our Gayish library. Like, people have sent us books every now and then. We need to have all of these books in here.
Yeah.
If we need to, turn to the physical pages for something.
Yeah.
They're just like Dan Savage said, author Jordan Tate says they're all fictions. Fictions? Oh, sure. He says they fall into this class of theoretical euphemisms. I'm also a theoretical euphemism. That are infrequent, impractical, and violent. He said that they originated sometime after the sexual revolution, when the empowerment of women was threatening to men's place in contemporary society.
Wow.
And as a result, men started to fight back with these very violent and not real no one does these things. These aren't defining actual sex acts. They're just making up things, making up shit and piss sometimes, like as a reaction to women's empowerment.
Yeah.
Which I had never heard that explanation for why these things came into being.
I'm fascinated by that.
And I believe the dude who wrote at least one of the 17 books about this thing, I guess. So
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Like, you can, I think it's sociology says that, like, you can think of a culture as being an individual and reacting in certain ways, like as a whole. And spell hole. But like, I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. More pirate terms. Tango pirate was popularized in the early 20th century, described gigolos who sought out wealthy women at dances.
Tango pirate?
Tango pirate.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Yoink, yoink. Pamper pirate.
Pamper pirate. Is it
a child molester?
Oh, no. Okay.
Yee.
All right.
And lastly, butt pirate.
Yeah.
Or ass pirate.
Butt pirate.
Or poo pirate. Are used as sexual slurs for gay men.
Yep.
Which, okay, just going back to you asked about like why, that Australian term of to pirate as men searching for casual sex. It's interesting that so many of these, like I said at the beginning, is based on the idea that pirates take what they want. It is, things are a conquest. And so we talk about pimps stealing the sex workers, or the tango pirate, someone going into a dance and finding a wealthy woman and taking her, or the child molester one is like, clearly rapey.
Yeah.
And in this mix, we also have gay shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sucks to be included. There's nothing inherently predatory or taking what you want, like kind of thing in gay sex, unless you don't understand it and think it's associated with all these things. So
right.
I hate that this is in the category of things that are included with pirate, but also kind of makes sense. And what I realized when I started thinking about pirate, I was like, what am I going to look up? And I realized I think butt pirate is the first thing I can think of when I think of gay stuff. Like I think that's one of the very first things I heard about gay people.
Sure. Yeah. Like Fudgepacker and butt pirate seem to be like the things that it was okay for teenage boys to call each other or something.
Yeah. And I don't remember exactly, but that might have been my first exposure even to the word gay, or what being gay was, or the fact that it had something to do with butts, which
it does. It has a lot to do with butts.
It has so much to do with butts. And that, God, I wish that I wouldn't have to do it, but someone could go back, and I wish I could actually chronicle when I actually heard about gay things, in my life, and what the actual first time I heard, reference of a gay person or gay slang or any of this stuff. But, I don't know, but that has to be a really messed up way of getting young kids started in thinking about gay stuff. And I remember, I don't know if this is connected, but I remember when I first started watching gay porn, I thought that anal sex was gross. And I wonder if it had something to do with the connection to like butt pirates, or,
maybe,
or if it's just because of poop there. But
there's, one of my reactions to what you were saying is that butt pirate as basically you made it sound like it was a term for a top, right? He's getting what he wants.
Yeah.
And rating that booty.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me because on some like weird emotional visceral level, I'd never made that connection before. Like I always thought butt pirate as being more about being the bottom for some reason. And I'm not sure where that comes from. It's just true. Like, I don't know, sail into my port or something. I don't know. But
I am the butt pirate.
As opposed to Fudgepacker, which I always associated with a top who's going to get his dick dirty.
Yeah.
And those terms are also very closely related to each other in my mind, I think, because of the like association to childhood playground horse shit.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I also think that like when I was straight, I didn't take care of my butt as well as I do now, and it was like maybe dirtier in general. Like, just it was.
But I mean,
like I don't remember like really washing my hole really well, like a lot, until I was older. I did, but I mean, like not with like the level of care.
I don't know how much to explore this specific topic of conversation.
I mean, we're talking about butt pirates, Kyle.
As a kid, how much did you clean your... I mean, there's a certain level of like, hopefully when you showered, you cleaned your butt.
Yeah.
And you
But
didn't
like,
like.
but to pay too much attention to it was gay. Like, stay out of there. It's dirty and bad. Like, just like give it the get in, get out real quick.
I don't think I had like a preconceived like how much to clean my butt when I was a kid,
Who did?
or that it was too gay to like wipe too deep. I don't know. That's a weird topic I didn't expect to hear. Okay. At the risk of, well, I'll just say it. Like, vaginas also have things going on, things coming out of
Sure.
it, and I hesitate to say this because gay men already talk about how gross vaginas are, and that's really problematic, and we shouldn't. But there's also a lot going on there, stuff coming out of there, things happening, and like, but the butt is the one that gets all the flack, and not the vaginas. Like, when you're growing up, you're not like, ew, there's weird stuff in vaginas. It's just natural that you would want to put your dick in a vagina, and so both have weird things going on, but the butt gets so much more of the kind of the negative press.
Yeah, sure.
So I think there's something innately homophobic there.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
That's just some of the sexual pirate slang.
Sexual pirate slang.
Yep.
By the way, at least one of the etymological dictionaries that I looked at said that butt pirate got popularized in the 80s, but I couldn't figure out how.
I didn't. The most I could find was early or in the 20th century. I didn't find anything more specific about when or how. So that's interesting. I mean, that's when that wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, speaking of butt pirates, in the Patreon segment, I'm going to go over a thorough explanation of the legendary butt pirate, according to this person online who writes articles about fictional creatures. So there's
The Legend of the Butt Pirate.
little known legendary creatures number 2, butt pirate. I'm gonna read you some of that. So
I want to do the Patreon segment now, but okay, we can keep going.
But now continuing on the history thing.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about 2 lady pirates and their incredible story. Their lesbianic, wacky ass, kind of tragic story. Okay, here we go. So, Mary Read and Anne Bonny are the most famous lady pirates. And it's interesting to note that they both had a clear masculine side. It's problematic to look back and try to assign transness in a time when that did not exist as an identity.
Yeah.
However, Mary, since childhood, insisted people call her Mark, and was very tomboyish. That's one of the ways that she was described. But also used she/her pronouns. She didn't try to pass as male until she became a pirate. But then moving on, apparently Anne, the other one, Anne's father dressed her as a boy and called her Andy growing up. And the thought is that was because he had kind of kidnapped her, or they were on the run from his wife's family. So something happened. He took her and was on the run and disguised her as a boy and named her Andy.
You might think of changing the name Andy. I mean, if we're trying to go on the road, yeah. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Apparently, she had a wicked temper. She at 13, she stabbed a servant girl with a table knife.
Holy a table knife?
Yeah.
That doesn't work too well unless you go real hard at it.
Yeah. So Mary dressed as a man and applied to be a pirate.
Applied? I hate how you have to fill out your pirate application again, even though you already uploaded your pirate resume.
Oh, no. Sorry, I messed that up. I messed that up. She got a job on a normal ship, and the pirates took the ship that she was on and forced her to join them.
Oh, there was no application process.
There was no application process.
Yeah.
How does one become a pirate? You're just sign me up.
In that accent, yep.
Meanwhile, the other one had traveled to the Bahamas, started mingling with pirates in local taverns, and there Anne/Andy Bonny met pirate captain John Calico Jack Rackham.
Whoa, that's quite the name.
Captain John, Calico Jack, Rackham. They started hooking up. They became lovers. So then Mary, the other one, joined that ship. And initially...
Is ship short for relationship? Did she join the relationship?
We will get there.
Okay.
Mary and Anne each assumed the other was a man because they were presenting male and doing this like DL, being secret lady pirates. But
secret lady pirate.
But then
She's a pirate, but a secret lady.
Anne eventually told Mary, "I'm a woman and I'm into you. I'm attracted to you." And that's when Mary said, "I'm a woman too. Let's fuck." So
this sounds like a Shakespeare play. Are you sure this isn't like Much Ado About Mary or something?
that's when they probably started to have a sexual relationship. So there's this like moment of like they each found out that the other was a lady, and like then they were super down. Like
also bisect. There's like a bi element to that too, right?
Apparently, pirates are bi. They're birates.
Oh no.
So Captain Jack Rackham. No, Captain John, Calico Jack Rackham, got jealous of Mary because he thought Mary was a man trying to bang his chick Anne.
Yeah.
Who was actually presenting as a dude, but I mean, he knew. Anyway, so that's when Anne outed her and said, "It's okay, Captain John. That's also a woman."
And that makes it okay that she's hooking up with her? Like that shouldn't, yeah.
So then I guess the three of them were then a package deal. It's unclear whether Captain John was also banging Mary or if he allowed Anne and Mary to continue banging each other. But the three of them together stole a ship from Nassau, the capital of the Bahamas. They recruited a crew and they did a bunch of pirating around Jamaica.
Wow.
And
I didn't know bisexuality and triads showing up. Or I don't know if this is like official triad, but like poly. Wow.
Yeah, birate thruples, man. It's
throuple.
So apparently Rackham's crew, they were having a rum party, which that sounds fun.
Cool.
I want to have a rum party.
I want to have a bum party.
They were having a rum party on board when a pirate hunter cornered them and stormed their ship on the 15th of November, 1720. And apparently, Rackham, Captain John's men were too drunk to fight because they left Anne and Mary and one other crew member to take on the boarding party themselves. Mary allegedly shot at the other pirates when they refused to defend themselves. Like, get up off your asses, you drunk asses, and help us fight them off. And so she got pissed and shot at her own people.
Oh, geez.
Get off your ass, that kind of thing. And anyway, so eventually the pirate hunters overwhelmed them. Captain Rackham was sentenced to death. And Mary's last words to him were, quote, "Had you fought like a man, you need not have been hanged like a dog."
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, man up. How does it change my view when it's a lady saying some dude man up? I still hate it, but
yep. Anne and Mary were also sentenced to die. However, it was delayed because they were both pregnant.
Oh.
Maybe both by Captain John?
Or were they lying about being pregnant to avoid a hang-in?
I don't know. Mary unfortunately died of a fever in prison, but a lot of people think that Anne survived because she disappears from history. There's no note of her actually being executed, and she's kind of like fades off into the historical sunset. But yeah, that is the birate throuple. And
I wonder if all of a sudden a dude named Andy starts showing up in the history books around that time.
Right. It's interesting too. I think this idea that it's a meme or a trope. It's a trope. The lady being on a pirate ship. I've been watching Our Flag Means Death. Have you seen any of it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard lots of good things, lots of queer things about it.
Super queer, lots of pirate shit. kind of boring. Sorry, any like our flag means death stands, but like it's the pacing is weird for me. But there's a pirate who's a lady on the DL in that show, and it seems to fit. Like something about all of that makes sense, or is something that like your brain is ready and willing to accept. But also, how could they not know? Were people dumber about stuff in the past? I think there's evidence to support that. But like, I don't know. I've seen some bad disguises, and how to like full-time like Mrs. Doubtfire at piracy is just I don't know. It's interesting to me that would work.
It seems like they had a lot more clothes and a lot more gendered clothes. So it's like after the 7th layer of a dude clothing that they had to wear, like maybe I just think of them as being all like fully covered head to toe except for their faces. And if all of that was, the same garb that dudes are supposed to wear.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And they didn't have glasses back then, so maybe no one could see shit.
That's true.
Okay, you're talking about pirate tropes,
yeah.
And we have this very specific idea. You think of a pirate, you think of the Halloween costume, you think of Johnny Depp, you think of these very
parrot on the shoulder and a peg leg.
Yep, exactly. Pirates still exist.
Yeah.
There are modern day pirates, and
are they hot?
No, they're terrifying.
Okay.
Oh, that is a little hot. Okay, I'm going to tell you just some facts about modern day pirates.
Okay, hit me.
They use AK-47s, heavy machine guns, rocket launchers, mortars, and grenades.
Okay, that's a lot of like. I don't know. Did they go to Walmart? How does one?
Yes.
How does one procure?
No, it says
things?
right here. Go to see Walmart. Pick up mortars and grenades.
Great. Okay. Yeah.
Wait 3 days. The 3-day waiting period for grenades. Ugh. From
my cold dead hands, Kyle.
Second Amendment. The victims, they sometimes assault or kidnap. They still maroon people occasionally. They sometimes kill. They typically target cargo vessel ships, but on a rare occasion, there have been instances where they've gone after cruise ships to try to get people's valuables. Apparently, the trends are that modern piracy is on the rise, having increased by...
It's a growth industry.
It's booming. Get in now, everybody, before Elon Musk buys the piracy industry. It has increased, according to one article, increased by 75% in the last decade. In 2010, there were nearly 490 reports of piracy and armed robbery against ships.
Wow.
One of the downsides with the reporting is many carriers decide not to report when some of these issues happen because of the financial burden. They get their rates increased, like when you get in an accident.
Sure.
Same thing. Your rates go up, your pirate rates go up.
Pirate insurance, there's a thing to think about.
I'm guessing it's just part of your ship insurance. I would think. I don't know how I shouldn't pretend to know how ship insurance or
basic, and then there's like comprehensive, and then like there's a pirate add-on, but it has a really high deductible.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So your rates, if you report this, your rates can go up by as much as 30%. There could be an investigation that then incurs a daily loss of $1,000 a day. So it's sometimes in your interest not to report it, which that's fucked up. That could cause you not to, like, I guess I'll just shut up about the pirate.
Yeah.
International losses due to piracy are estimated to be around $13 to $16 billion a year.
Boy, that's a big number.
Boy,
billion
howdy.
With a B.
Mm-hmm. That's the booty that I guess is nowadays. Where does this occur? I think some of the most, like, if you hear the Somali coast is one of the ones you'll hear, like Somali pirates is one of the ones you'll hear most often, between the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean and the Gulf of Aden. In the Gulf of Guinea is, according to one article, the current global capital of modern international piracy.
Maybe give that one back. That title.
Don't love to have that one. East Africa, the South China Sea, certain coastlines off of South America, the Caribbean, and Danube River, particularly through the Serbian and Romanian stretches.
The Danube.
Danube, is that how you? Mm-hmm. Danube. Yeah, that sounds too fun for pirates.
Bonobos on the Danube.
Why do we? I don't hear that much about pirates.
Right,
I don't I had this vague idea that it might still be happening, but didn't. But I had to like look up this information and see how terrifying this is still in modern day. According to
what was the movie with the guy? I'm the Captain Now. Wasn't that about pirates?
Yes, that was Cake with Jennifer Aniston. Or was that? I don't remember. I just know that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did that at one of the Golden Globes. So,
Captain Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
2013 movie Captain Phillips, in which an American cargo ship is hijacked by Somali pirates. All right.
So, maritime terrorism expert Peter Lair says that in reality, piracy never disappeared. It just doesn't affect the West anymore. And that's why it goes unnoticed, which that's, an unfortunate
Makes sense.
side of, it does make sense.
Unfortunate, shitty, terrible sense.
Yeah. And I also think it's interesting. I wonder how much the stereotype and the stereotype of pirates, what we think of as pirates, turns into this characterization, this joke, a fun costume to wear around when really there's this horrifying thing still happening.
Sure.
I wonder if this is part of the thing that hides from what's really happening, is that when we think of pirates, we have such an image built up around it that what's the truth behind it goes, can float by like a pirate on the sea.
Sure.
I'm a writer, Mike.
Gonna walk the plank for that one.
Jesus. And how many of stereotypes in general, the fact of the stereotype is based on something in reality, but then gets blown out of proportion and then hides a real underlying thing that's important and kind of goes unnoticed. I thought that kind of matched what we see in other times, and maybe even to more of an extreme, because we have such an extreme old image of what it is that's built up. We do that in other ways with gay people, with some of these characterizations we have, but some of those are a little bit closer than truth. The flamin' gay or the best friend gay, like those, there's a little bit more you can see attached to like what current day gays are, rather than like fucking peg leg pirate and the current, pirates that have AK-47s. So.
I mean, we don't have time to get into the whole Disney thing right now, and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. They've had over the years, some of our sensibilities about they're pirates have shifted, and they've had to redo some stuff on that ride to make it more palatable to modern sensibilities. There's the thing, there's a tavern scene, I think, and one of the pirates is chasing a barmaid around the bar. They're like, that's maybe
that was fun once, but not anymore. Stupid liberals ruin everything.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You ready for a little bit more history?
Sure.
So we did talk about this once before on the show. I think fucking Dan talked about it, but it was a Patreon thing. But I want to revisit it.
Okay.
So I want to talk about the institution of matelotage, which is...
Is it anything like décolletage?
No.
Okay.
So during the golden age of piracy, some buccaneers engaged in matelotage, which was a civil union. Basically, in pirate communities in the 17th and 18th century, the golden age of piracy, matelotage developed, and it was a arrangement between pirates. So on the surface, it's just an economic partnership. It says that this pirate says to this pirate, if I die, then you get you get my shit, and if you die, I get your shit, and let's totally protect each other from dying and partner up that way.
And I'll protect your dick with the surroundings of my anal lining.
Well, yeah. So also matelotage derives from the French matelot, which means sailor or seaman, and matey comes from that. So it's matey is a cousin word.
Oh, they became mateys. I now pronounce you matey and matey.
Matey.
Oh.
But apparently it wasn't just economic for a lot of them. A lot of them were fucking. In some cases, matelotage was affectionate, even fraternal, but in others it was romantic and sexual. And no matter what, though, pirates took it very seriously.
They took it very seriously?
Repeatedly and seriously.
I'm very serious when I take it, too.
Yeah. So here's a book that we got to get our hands on.
Okay.
In Sodomy and the Pirate Tradition. English Sea Rovers in the 17th Century Caribbean by Professor Barry Richard Berg. He wrote that, quote, matelotage is an institutionalized linking of buccaneer and another male, most often a youth, in a relationship with clearly homosexual characteristics. They draw parallels to like Greek society, where there was a pederastic relationship between an older, more established, stable dude and a twink.
Yeah.
And,
Greeks killed your young if you weren't a twink. Yeah.
But so there's an account in there that a privateer commander, George Shelvach, had the ship's cabin boy promoted to first mate, which the boy was not ready for that job. Like
he was not ready for the first mate that he got out of that.
Well, and the rest of the crew was pissed because like, why are you giving that kid a promotion? It's because that ass that good.
God, I wish I got something purely because my ass was so incredible. Sorry, I shouldn't be joking about a child. Like that's, well, I don't know, maybe cultural. I don't know how to feel about these kinds of things. He's two. That's,
we don't know his age.
Oh, okay.
He's the cabin boy, but
okay.
Like, we don't know his age.
We still have best boys, and I think they're adults.
Right. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Who knows?
Key grip. Grip those best boys. Anyway. So
again, are adults, just as a reminder.
But yeah, so these were really intense relationships too. The Captain Bartholomew Roberts, apparently, two sailors that were in a matelotage relationship together. A sailor insulted the captain, so the captain stabbed him with a sword and killed him. And so the sailor's matelot, Jones, grew irate and confronted Roberts. And so then apparently this guy that kicked the captain's ass, and they sort of let him do it, and part of it was because they were honoring, like, of course you would act like this because we just killed your love guy. You're not husband. You're matelot. So but then he was later punished. He was sentenced to receive 2 lashes from every man on the boat, which they ran a train on him and whipped him. So
ran a train on him could be okay, but not okay.
Yep. Anyway, that's matelotage. It was a civil union, and it was supposed to be economic and like palimony, sort of. But it was clearly more than that, based on a whole bunch of stories and the way that they used it. And it's really interesting too how it played a little bit a part in the whole thing about sending those sex workers to Tortuga, because they were, even though they weren't on the ship, when they were at home on land, they were still acting as you know, like they were married, and trying to break that up. Anyway, that's matelotage.
Interesting.
The short version.
Pirates be so gay.
Pirates be so gay, but like legit gay.
Can I tell you one last thing?
Tell me one last thing, Kyle.
It is about Pirates owner Kevin McClatchy.
Oh, okay, great.
They are.
I already know this, but for anybody else listening, what sport and city is that?
That is baseball team based in
We're real good at this, Kyle.
Philadelphia Pirates. Philadelphia Pirates. Google is not happening right now. Bye. Is it Philadelphia?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Fuck. I don't. Okay.
You had the state right.
It was a P.
You had the state right.
Okay, sure, that's why. Not just, it was another thing that starts with. Okay. Kevin McClatchy, he was the Pirates lead owner from 96 to 2007. And on September 22nd...
Pirate. Oh, go ahead.
He came out?
Yeah!
On September 22nd, 2012, he came out as a butt pirate.
Great, excellent.
He was like, not only am I the Pirates owner... No, so this is, some years after...
Isn't it Just for Men reference?
What?
Not only am I the owner, I'm a client or whatever.
I don't know.
Anyway.
He came out in an interview. So this is 5 years after he was the lead owner, but he came out in as gay in an interview in the New York Times. So he was one of the first major sports execs in the country to come out. He was inspired when he saw a story about Rick Welts, which was the then CEO of the Phoenix Suns. That's basketball. But that was kind of cute to see that he read a different person coming out, and that inspired him to come out, which coming out and these big stories about people coming out, this literally made a difference that we can directly tie it to that coming out that helped this get on the New York Times. So the bigger thing that I wanted to talk about is to come out, he got help of PR guru Howard Bragman.
Okay.
Howard Bragman.
Should I know this name?
No.
Oh.
But I just really enjoyed that the PR guru's last name is Bragman.
Yeah, does he have a giant dick?
He surely has a huge wang. Prove me otherwise, Howard. But that is a great example of it. I keep forgetting this word and having to look it back up. Aptronym, which is when your last name fits your profession.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He considers himself, Howard Bragman, considers himself the midwife for people coming out.
That seems...
Surely there's a...
ill chosen. For a PR person. You could do better than that.
So he helped McClatchy during this process. He, some of the things, parts of this process, I think is like he helped get this New York Times interview. Before the interview came out, McClatchy called around 100 different people to let them know what was about to happen. Bragman helped set up interviews with GLAAD and the HRC to support after the article came out.
Sure.
And Bragman said most people can come out once. They come out to their family, they come out to their friends, they come out to their colleagues. When you're a celebrity, you have to come out it again and again, which no. You literally in that sentence explaining it talked about 3 different times you have to come out. So I don't understand. Yeah. Maybe his point is if you're a celebrity, you have to do it in multiple interviews. I don't understand what his point is about celebrities and how it's different than all of us who have to come out again and again, but I don't know.
Yeah, for being a midwife, this one's miscarrying, I think.
He has helped people come out since 1991.
Great.
He's been doing this for a while. He has helped people like John Amachi. Do you remember
him?
You do?
From the basketball episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Episode 2.
Yep. How? Wow.
Yeah.
I had to go. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the guy I talked about. So I had to fucking hate this shit. I had to go to the episode and listen to it and skip through to get to make sure I said that name and make sure it really was him because I didn't put it in the episode description.
Yep.
Which, God, listening to episode 2, it's a lot. But he also helped...
That's the episode that, we were so bad at this, we plugged in the microphone and then didn't use it.
And it recorded on my laptop. Yeah, you hear my refrigerator kick on at one point, and I was like, God. Don't listen to the episode about Harry Potter because, whoops. We mostly don't do that anymore. He also helped Rosie Jones, Don Lemon, Michael Sam, Cheryl Swoops, Chaz Bono. He's worked with all of them. He has received honors and awards from the AIDS Project Los Angeles and from GLAAD. In September 2021, Bragman made a $1 million endowment to found the Howard Bragman Coming Out Fund at the University of Michigan, which would be run by the Spectrum Center, which is an LGBTQIA plus support center that was formed in the college in 1970. So
he knew his endowment was going to come up at some point.
Howard the braggiest of Bragman. So he's done a lot to help famous people come out, and looks like particularly sports people, or maybe that's just what they mentioned in this article because of that's what it was talking about, and done a lot for the LGBTQIA plus community. So I guess he's earned the right to Bragman as much as he wants.
Thanks, Mr. Bragman.
Yeah, that's the pirate team, the Pirates team, the team of the Pirates
with the pirate at the helm.
For a little bit.
He
was in the closet then, so.
He what?
He was in the closet when he was
sure.
He was a secret butt pirate.
Whom among us hasn't been a secret butt pirate at some point in our career?
Truth.
Did we do it?
Pirates are gay. Yeah.
Pirates are super duper gay. I had a whole like a potential like back pocket segment about like pirate talk and whether you could guess what it means.
Oh God, I almost did that too, and then it was like,
All right. Yeah.
You can't tease that and just do nothing with it. That's
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Do you want it?
What do you think is beating the booby?
The motorboat.
It's slapping your arms to try to keep warm.
Oh, does that work?
I guess. How about bleeding the monkey?
Oh God, that's a period.
Or it's stealing rum.
Okay.
Let's see. How about hornswoggle?
That's when you get so horny you swag someone in the ass. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just cheating.
Oh, okay.
Been hornswoggled. This isn't fun.
Okay. And when it stops being fun, we wrap up the episode.
Did we do it?
Yeah, I think so. We did a lot of stuff.
We talked about pirates a whole bunch.
And a lot of gay shit about them.
And thruples.
Yeah, throuple came up so many times in this episode.
Yes.
We don't have to talk about bisexuals for another 10 episodes contractually.
Way more than I expected,
Yeah.
which was zero.
Same.
So do you want to take a break?
Yeah, and you're going to tell me the legend of the butt pirate?
Yep.
Okay, yes, let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Okay. Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first,
Apply for
we're hiring.
We're hiring.
Yeah.
Gayishpodcast.com/jobs to find the job description. We're hiring a production assistant. We need your application by May 15th. So only a couple weeks left.
Yep. Get them in,
Get them in.
please.
Try not to make this sexual to know that it is a respectful, high quality work environment that is above board.
Also, so the next Patreon Happy Hour Zoom call is Wednesday, May the 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Anybody who supports us on Patreon at any level will get an invitation in your Patreon inbox. Come hang out. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we were nominated for a Cybersocket Award. So if you want to put in your vote for Best Cock and Best Daddy and Hottest Twink or whatever the fuck, but also Best Gay Sex Podcast Gayish, go to cybersocketawards.com. Do it now, you dirty fucker.
Yeah, you dirty butt pirate.
Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Spaces at Gayish Podcast.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
I just realized, like, I say at Gayish Podcast, but that's like Instagram. But yeah, you'll find it.
They'll figure
Gayish
it out.
Podcast. You got it. Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
Our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
And rate, review, subscribe, and recommend. Last I saw our ratings on Apple Podcasts, we were at 4.4. So I don't know. Like most of the other podcasts I see that around our size are like 4.8 or 4.7. So we're, you know, I don't know. If you want to help us out, throw us a review on Apple Podcasts. You can also do rate on Spotify now, or send it to a friend. Helps us grow, helps us make good, delicious, piratey content.
Helps us feel better about ourselves.
God, yeah. I didn't expect how much of my life and feelings would be wrapped up into this podcast and how well it does, but here we are, Mike.
Here we are.
Yeah.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, sponsored by Spaces. Spaces, a new group chat app for niche queer communities by Hornet.
I will go first.
Okay.
My gayest is that I bought something I saw advertised on Instagram, a tongue scraper.
Nice.
Do you need a tongue scraper? I don't think so. I've used it a couple times, and I don't know that actually helps or does anything. But, you know, Instagram told me I needed something, and buying something from Instagram felt kind of gay.
I have noticed that I need to brush my tongue, or it will still smell of coffee.
I brush my tongue, but, like, do you need a specialty tool to scrape it? I don't know.
It's also good practice to get your gag reflex to go away.
Right? I can't, maybe that's why it's gay. Shoving the shit down my throat because Instagram told me. Okay, my straightest is not only did I leave stuff in my dryer and instead of folding it, when my next load of laundry was done, I just added it to the contents of the dryer to make one big dryer bundle.
Yes. Solid.
What about you, Mike?
Well, so the straightest thing about me this weekend, a friend of ours had a giant ass scavenger hunt for his birthday. It started at 9 a.m. I think I got home a little bit before midnight. Like, it was the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
The straightest thing about me this week was for that scavenger hunt. We were at lunch because each meal we had, like, the clues led us to the same restaurant for whatever meal it was. I realized, like, oh, I'm sitting with the straight people. Like, it was all of the straight people and me at one table, and then all of the gays at like two tables over. I was like, oh my God, am I straight now?
Oh, you like sat at the wrong table at lunch, and now you just are part of the straight clique.
Identity crisis. Yeah. But then the gayest thing about me this week was later on that scavenger hunt went to Doghouse Leathers, which is a sex toy store, leather harness shop. Fucking Dan works there now.
Yeah.
And he was a clue on the scavenger hunt. But some of the straight people had questions, and I got to answer them, and it was magical.
You answered questions?
Oh yeah, I explained this case is full of these rods because they are used for sounding.
Oh.
What's sounding? You put these in your dick. And then he thought that like it was called sounding because then you like hit it with a hammer and it makes a sound. I guess.
Yeah.
We got there.
Yeah.
But
I also saw in person the display for Happy Hole Toys.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Happy Hole Toys.
Yeah.
We heart them.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to read the last week. You said to
fill in the spaces.
Fill in the spaces. The very first response, also I really appreciated, was Miles to Go said that you said when Kyle goes to blank, he always brings blank. Mm-hmm. Miles to Go said when Kyle goes to record Gayish, he always brings butt plugs.
Oh, is that true?
Which I enjoyed when you first read it, you just think that means I'm wearing a butt plug. But when you keep thinking about it, it's I bring butt plugs. It's almost like I'm Oprah of butt plugs. Like everyone sit on your butt plug before we record. There's layers to that one. So for this week, post your gayest and straightest to spaces, and we'll the gayish space go to on your iPhone, download spaces. You can search for Hornet Spaces or Queer Spaces. You will find it there. Download the app, post your gayest and straightest to our space, and we'll pick one for next week and read it on there. So download Spaces. It's a great place for queer people and queer communities. And if you don't want to be on that app that, some big Tesla dude is buying, just go ahead and hop on over to Spaces.
Hop on over. Bunny hop.
Is
that it?
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah. Thank you to all the gay pirates.
Thank you to those like throuple birates.
The throuple birates. Byron is still very funny. Yeah. And thank you to all the butt pirates that support us. Thank you to our super gap bridgers, Josh Copeland, Forrest Nail, Patrick Martin, Anonabro, James Barrow, Steve Douglas, Explosive Lasagna, Christopher Farrell, Jamie Pugh, Kevin Henderson, Tipsy McSummels, Donald and C. Thomas B. Dusty Sands, A. Coleman, Chris Cacciatore, Jerome York, and Cian and Javi.
That's it from the Chris Cacciatore Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be booty.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting my charger for your laptop unless you have it and it's handy, just because it's stressing me out.
Mike has 50% left.
Okay. All right. I'll let you run your own life.